What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wnba Dfs here to bring you guys that WNBA slate breakdown for the two-game WNBA slate we got today. As always, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I'm putting out over here on the channel. Drop a like on this video. If this video or any of my other videos have helped you guys win some money, hopefully you guys had a pretty good day yesterday on the 4-game WNBA slate. Well, technically 3-game slate, 4 games yesterday. We had the showdown, gave some tips and stuff for that one at the beginning of the video yesterday. My Wings, hey, we got that dub. We got a W yesterday. It's crazy that we needed one lucky left eye to come out there and honestly show out. It really truly shows what one player can really do for a team, which kind of been saying that again for like the Aces in regards to like they needed Chelsea Gray back. They needed her back. Just her presence being out there on the court, she helped them completely. And they've turned it around since she's been back. Same thing for the Wings yesterday, having Odyssey come in and being able to come out there and give us a big boost, a lift. She ended up playing a ton of minutes off the bench, 18 points, second behind Enrique, and it lifted the team. It was a very, very big thing right there. And come to find out, the whole time, every home game that we had, she was there. She was actually there with the team already and had been chilling. She was just waiting for her number to be called. That was it. But really big lift. I'm glad my Wings finally got another W. We're now 4-13. I'm not going to say we're going to make the playoffs and stuff yet, but definitely a turn in the right direction to actually go out there and beat the Lynx coming off of their Commissioner Cup win. That's pretty huge, pretty big. But main slate yesterday, this game should not have went to OT. I'm going to say that straight up off the back. The Suns going up against a short-handed Washington Mystics team. They literally played 8 damn players, man. And one of the top teams in the league. I mean, I understand that AT's, supposedly she has an ankle injury. She looked like she was coasting that game. Didn't play the whole second quarter, actually, and was just coasting. Did not really do much out there. You had Carrington, Ty Harris, and Bonner went bonkers yesterday to honestly, truly lift that team to the W. Now, they're going into a back-to-back, technically, after coming off of OT. That's crazy. The game today, I honestly will have Atlanta favored, which I believe that's who they play. Is it Atlanta or is it the Sparks that they're playing today? Yeah, they're playing Atlanta. I actually would have Atlanta favored now in this game, just for the fact they're coming off of OT. Atlanta should be well rested, even without Ryan, which we'll get into that later. But big game from Bonner, pretty big. AT, hopefully you faded her yesterday. I was not on her at all yesterday. And it showed 1 of 5, no aggression out there at all. I don't know if really she was coasting just for the fact that they were on the front of back-to-back. But both teams only play 8 players, and it was just that game should never went to OT. Should not have went to OT. The Aces taking on the Chicago Sky. This was actually a pretty good game for the most part until the Aces honestly pulled it away in that second half. Marbury, she was popping off, did really well, but Asia found a way to fit her into my lines. I really did, especially because we got the value from Washington, but was killing it, crushed it, amazing in that whole first half. Second half, I shit you not, she did nothing in the second half. She was just there. Jackie really took over Plum. She got a little bit going herself. Stokes with the 6 blocks. She was just coasting. She really didn't do too much. I understand maybe they were sending a couple of doubles, things like that, but it just wasn't anything. Angel Reese continues her streak of the double-doubles. She got, 9 straight double-doubles now. Still showing very good game, very good touch and everything. Dealt with some foul trouble, but was able to get it going in the second half. Cardosa, I was very high on Cardosa yesterday, and I shouldn't have been. Really was expecting more for her. 2 of 6, was getting blocked by freaking Plum and all the guards and stuff. It was driving me crazy, man. But nonetheless, MM, if it wasn't for her having a pretty good game, and then of course Carter, really showing why she was a top pick back in the day, for when she was originally drafted by Atlanta, looked very, very, very well. Out there herself, honestly, her slashing, her cutting, she took 20 shots. That's crazy. Not too efficient out there in those 20 shots. 9 of 20. I mean, I would like to see more like a 12 of 20, something like that for her. Oh, 2 from 3. But still, 20 points out there, 3 steals, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Still all-around game. Very good. I want to say she actually made it into the perfect lineup. So not too bad from her. Really do like what the Sky have. And they shouldn't be that good this season, which I will give them that. They should not be that good. You want the development of Reese. You want the development of Cardosa. Really, the main thing that they are going to need, which I hope they address coming soon, or maybe they can get some talent to come in for that, but they need an actual guard. They need an actual point guard to help them out. I don't mind Carter as more of a 2 versus me in the 1, unless she can develop more of her playmaking, but she's a score-first guard whenever she's out there. Same thing, MM, she's more out there for scoring. She can facilitate a little bit, but they really do need a playmaker and someone that can set them up. Lindsay Allen, she is a regular traditional guard that will look to play, make, and set up first, but undersized in her own right and everything, and leaves a little bit on the table sometimes when she's out there as well. And then the last game of the night, we had the Fever taking on the Storm. And the Storm, honestly, from the jump, they were throttling them. They went ahead, they took it to them. Fever, they tried to make a little bit of the game in the second half, but Clark did not have too good of a game. Only 9 shots. That is unacceptable. Really, that's truly unacceptable for Clark to come out here, play 38 minutes, almost the whole damn game. 2 minutes is all she didn't play, and she only took 9 shots. That is beyond unacceptable. And 3 of her shots that she made came from 3. That is no, that's not okay. That's not number 1 draft pick. The ceiling, everything that we talk up, we hype up about her. There's no reason why she only had 9 shots in that game. You guys have to find her more looks, set some more screens, something like that. Just tell her to jack the damn ball up, something. But no, unacceptable. And then some of the interviews and stuff that I was seeing from post game, the media is truly going to drive a rift in this locker room if they keep doing what they're doing. To sit there, you have both the superstars technically for this team. You got Boston sitting up there with her, and no one to acknowledge Aaliyah, no one to say anything, no one to ask a question to Aaliyah the whole time. And you got Clark, like literally, she's noticing it. She's like, yo, ask her a question. Like that, my teammate's sitting right here. You putting all this focus on me, and that right there is something that can definitely drive a rift in a locker room. And I'm pretty sure it is. Besides the frustration in the coaching, but I will say this for a fact. Y'all were not harping on the coaching staff and stuff when they went on that 4-game win streak. Y'all were not upset necessarily at them. I'm sure there were some little things that we can nitpick and talk about and stuff with the coaching staff. When they lose, why do we have to jump down their throat so much in all the losses like that? Like, I get it. She's what you're trying to paint as the face of the league and all this other stuff, but you're really making this a toxic environment. And maybe this to me is just the Caitlin Clark fans themselves. Like the craziness that I see on the Twitterverse is just ridiculous. The stuff that I've even gotten in my comment sections whenever I talk, when I compare her to the rest of the rookie class and stuff, like y'all need to actually go outside, touch some grass, man. Y'all really do, because the hatred and stuff that you see, the toxicity for everyone is ridiculous. Aaliyah went out there, had a double-double, 5 of 16, not too efficient, but you're going up against a good twin tower interior defense in NECA and Ezzy. That to me is a good stat line of what she had. 14 rebounds, 11 points, a block, a steal, 2 assists. Sure, she had 4 turnovers, 5 personal fouls. She only played 28 minutes, but still, in 28 minutes, I'll take that stat line. And the fact that she was able to get up 16 shots, I'll take that. Nalissa Smith, in her time of being out there, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 12 points, 2 blocks, a steal, even with Fag Bentley being back. That's not bad. I'll take that. In fact, Bentley off the bench, man, I give it to her. That girl is ready. That girl is a hooper. She's a baller. 19 minutes, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Not bad at all. Nalissa, you gotta get them chops right, girl, because I'm telling you, Fag gonna get that starting spark back again. And it's only a matter of time. It truly is only a matter of time. Really, the weak link, they got to figure out something with Wallace, bro. You got to find something else to go here. I understand that originally we're having Kayla Lou Samuelson in the starting lineup. I wouldn't mind just putting her back in, because she's actually a better 3-point shooter than what Wallace is, and Wallace undersized to me, really, having her out there. But Jewel Lloyd, of course, when you're not on her, she goes out there and she has an amazing night. 10 of 15, 6 of 9 from 3. Loves this matchup going up against the Fever. 34 points, her season high. 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Beautiful. Big shout out to my boy BK. He sent me a slip last night that it went 4 out of 6, but I'm not gonna fault him because he was on all the right reads. Two swaps. We ended up taking Skylar for her PA and taking Lloyd for her assist. Should have swapped it around, had Lloyd for her PA and had Skylar for her assist. Easy smack, 6 of 6. I know he listed a lot of those plays up on the Patreon. Speaking of, if you want that, check the link down in the description below so you guys can get access to that. Only $5. Promise you will make your money back right there. But all right, that's enough of the recap for last night. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this ugly, and when I say ugly, it is ugly, 2-game slate. All right, 2 games on the dot. We got Atlanta taking on the Connecticut Sun. Still, everything I've seen has shown that Ryan is expected to be out. Atlanta, they've been off for quite some time. Definitely well rested. Definitely should have had some time to practice. Canada came back in that last game. I would expect her to actually be more gelled and ready. She only played on like 14, 15 minutes in the last game. Still put up a fantasy point per minute. Had hella fouls in that game. But again, she's knocking off the rust. I would expect for her to be back a little bit more polished and more gelling with the team, especially if she should actually start. Matchup, we'll talk about that when we actually go over to DraftKings. And then, of course, we got the Sparks, who themselves, this is the Washington Mystics of last night. They have a ton of players out. This should be another 8-woman rotation right here, and really we should be able to get some decent value and some decent plays over here from the Sparks, just like you would have gotten last night if you played Washington, if you would have played like Dolson and SWK. Speaking of SWK, man, talked about her on the stream. I figured that they probably might have started DD. Was looking at SWK all day. As soon as they started DD, I locked in DD. Should have still stuck on my SWK, and SWK goes up there and has a beautiful night. It was But Phoenix Mercury, no injury news to report for them. And we go on over to DraftKings. Go ahead and break this down. All right, so looking over at Atlanta, like I said, they've been off for quite some time. Oh, pause. Going over DraftKings, if you guys don't have an account, you want one, make sure you guys check the link down in the description below so you guys get the deposit match bonus. Join your boy over here on the King. Honestly, best site to play on whenever it comes to WNBA because our prize pools are actually pretty much bigger. We had 20K to first last night. Tonight, we got 10K to first. Queen of the Court, all that stuff is coming up next month. Definitely check that out if you guys have not. Big prize pool. Big. Really big prize pool. So check that stuff out. Look at it. Check it out. Down in the description below. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Atlanta, they have been off for quite some time. Actually, let me see. Last game Ryan didn't play in that game, so why am I clicking on Ryan? Last game they played was on the 23rd. It's the 28th right now, so they've been off for the last 5 days. Definitely should have had some practice and stuff going on between then. Last game, we got to see AP, Aerial Powers, got the starting nod with Ryan being out. I would 10,000% expect for Canada to start. That is probably more than likely why RotoWire currently right now has Canada slid into the starting lineup. I don't see how she doesn't get the start here. I truly, honestly don't. Of course, Aerial Powers, she probably will still get the starting nod just because they're not going to start. Jesus Christ, what am I? No, actually, AP shouldn't get the start. AP shouldn't get the start nod because they should still have Haley Jones out there. Haley is a big guard. I would be surprised if they really do move Haley to the bench and actually still start AP. Because then you're going to have Tina at the center. You have Coffee at the power forward. You can still run AP out there if you want to, but you could just have Haley. That's a toss-up. AP might still play. Luckily, this is the first game of the night. Maybe RotoWire might actually have the starting lineup correct with Aerial Power still being out there. Having her at the small forward position, I could see it. Coffee at the power forward. Canada as your starting guard. Leash Gray as your 2. So might be right. Definitely check. Make sure that we do have that correct. But either way, doesn't matter. I would fully expect Canada to be in the starting lineup, whether it's to replace Haley Jones or Aerial Powers. Either way, she should actually start. And like I said, last game, she played 14 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field. We know she can actually knock it down for 3 if she actually would take some 3-point shots. But really, it's the playmaking and everything else that she can actually bring out there on the court. 3 personal fouls. Like I said, she picked up those fouls pretty early in the game. And then after that, she was actually kind of coasting, did pretty well in regards to everything else. First game back for her for the season. So I would only expect for it to go up. Definitely should have practiced between now and then. So our upside should be there. Now, speaking of everything, whenever you look over here, when it comes down to the Atlanta, I'm going to be quite frank and honest. Their coach doesn't know what she's doing. It doesn't seem like the players pay attention and listen. So I can only go with the players that actually show some production, players who are actually in decent spots. And to me, I just saw Dolson light the cup out of the Connecticut Sun last night. I will go back to something that I've attacked continuously over here, and that's going to be Tina Charles. We know that they love her. We know her usage is high as hell. We know that she's going to get the minutes. Production is all there. And 22 minutes versus New York. This girl went out here and dropped 31.25 fantasy points in 22 minutes. Going up against the Connecticut Sun, I would fully expect for her to be able to do the same thing. 31 minutes, she dropped 38.5 fantasy points, 12 points, 12 rebounds. I'm pretty sure, 12 rebounds out here in this game. I would expect nonetheless. We already know those that can stretch the floor going up against the Sun, especially from the big position, because Jones, she can come out, but she's not going to really come out too far in regards to defense. Tina, she can jack some threes. She can actually has a pretty decent mid-range game. She can actually get down there. You got Connecticut coming off of a back-to-back playing OT game. Tina, I love her. 9-2, nice price tag on this slate. Really, I will tell you right now, my 2 bigs that for a fact I will be locking into my lines will be Tina Charles, and the other one is going to be Brittany Griner. I'm building around those 2 today for a fact. The guard position is kind of wonky. I got to figure it out. There's some value that we can take at the guard position, but 10,000%, Tina Charles is going to be in my core, in my play. That is probably not even, I'll give you 2 player of the days. That's one of my player of the days. Second one, of course, is going to be Brittany Griner, like I said. So just looking at it, everything else, we have to get some clarification in regards to starting lineup. If Canada does start, I will have some interest there looking at Canada. If she doesn't and they still got to come off the bench, she definitely would be a tier down for me because with her not starting or not even being out there to start, maybe her minutes are still going to be in like the low 20s. Again, Tanisha Wright, I have no clue what the heck she's doing. Fire that woman. They need a better coach over there for this team. Outside of that, Coffee, I'm not really looking too much at the Coffee train or the Hillman or any of these players down here. Haley Jones, she's very much hit or miss. Biggest thing really is that they've had so much time off. There's been pictures floating around. My boy Cody, he's posted a picture a couple times that Ryan has practiced with the Olympic 3x3 team. Maybe they're still holding Ryan out to make sure that she's good to go for the Olympics because that is about to happen very soon. Maybe that might be why she will still have this out tag. But they made it seem like that left ankle injury was pretty big. There's no timetable. This has not been updated since the 21st. So if Ryan is back, that's definitely going to mess around and shake up a whole bunch of stuff right there. Because if Ryan is back, then I would not expect for AP to start or be out there. And then if they still want to take out Haley, put in Canada, they can. Very much up and down. No clue what the heck this team is going to do. Hopefully we get some clarification on it. If Ryan is out and Canada starts, again, like I said, I will have some interest in Canada. If Canada's off the bench, I'm not going to have too much interest right there. AP, GPP option, not really a want or need to go ahead and get to her. Started 17 minutes, only 5.75 fantasy points, 6,400. That price tag's a bit too much when I can go get some of the guards from the Sparks and get the value that I can get over there for them in this game. Parker Tyus, not really going to go there. Coach does not like Parker. Doesn't. It's very evident. It's obvious. I'm not even going to force that right there. Coffee, GPP option. If I land there, I land there. If I don't, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to make myself go ahead and take that at all whatsoever on the slate. Going over to the Sun side, right now, the game is still a 9-point spread in favor of the Sun. It is a low behind total, 151 for the total. Still, no mistake, the Sun is still the Sun. They can still ball out. They can still roll out 8-woman rotation if they want to in this game right here. I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't shock me if they did. Either way, it'll be our normal suspects that we normally do go to. AT over here, 11-3. I do believe that she is priced up. Now, the GPP mindset of myself and how I think and how I look at it, coming off the game last night, no one's going to want to play AT. Again, I still feel like AT just coasted in that game. She just didn't do much. This would not surprise me if somehow, some way, AT has a burst jolt of energy. She decides she wants to come out here, ball and hoop, go ahead, put this game away. So on and so forth. It would not surprise me. In the first game that they played going up against them, she dropped 41 fantasy points in that game. So again, it would not surprise me if AT decided, yo, I'm going to ball to the wall tonight. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to show out. That's just where we have to. That's just where we have to actually make a decision right here in regards to it. I'm very much on the fence with AT. If I want to actually go there, if I want to go ahead and lock that in and play that, because then I could also come down here to Brianna Jones, get the discount, that's like 2K of a discount right here in the game. Going up against Atlanta, she played 27 minutes, gave us 23.25 fantasy points. Like I said, she's very much hit or miss. You really have to get a lot of her fantasy points from her actually scoring. She did not score well at all last night going up against Washington. Everyone on Connecticut, they're very hit or miss for me. It's just it's so the matchup is just very ugly. I really do feel like stacking the Sparks in the Phoenix Mercury game. That's really where I'm leaning towards. Higher total in that game. No defense really for the Sparks. The Merc, they can't give it up to 3-point shooters and things like that. We could see a better game in that one right there. I just think that if you can nail this first game right, your upside for the slate will be tremendous. It will be huge, but it's just nailing it right. I will take AT as a GPP option. Bonner, I'm not going to expect back-to-back really great games for her. 50 fantasy points last night, 9,800. Unless you get up there, she will be low owned. I'm not really looking right there. Carrington, Ty Harris, I will have a little bit of interest in regards to both of them. I'm not going to hate on that. Hopefully, they can actually come out here and have back-to-back good games. Carrington last night, 34 fantasy points with 22 real points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 4 rebounds out there. First game going up against Atlanta, 32 minutes, she dropped 26 fantasy points. So she definitely can get you a realm of 20-plus-ish. Again, like I said, there are better guards to play in the Sparks and Mercury game. Really, it's just looking very iffy. Now, if you were going to play game theory of maybe they limit some of their starters, I can see a world where you can probably go with 0-0 to have some upside in this game. First game against Atlanta, she played 13 minutes, gave us 11.5 fantasy points. So that's a take that you can actually go with. She would probably be as low as I would go. Well, not as low as I would go. I would consider Banham for this one. She only played 4 minutes last night, and then going up against Atlanta, she played 10 minutes, 1.5 fantasy points. But this would be one of those games where I can see Banham coming out here playing 15, 18-ish minutes, and if she's knocking it down from 3, the upside would definitely be huge for her. Really, really deep GPP option. Not really going to go too deep right there. It would just be mainly the starters over here for Connecticut. They are known to run, again, a tight rotation, so not too crazy. Now going over to the second game. My bad about that. Going over to the second game, the Sparks for the Phoenix Mercury. This game, I will have a bit more interest just because I do believe rotation should be tighter. Rotation should be very much, you know, predictable, considering that you got 4 players that are out. Stevens, Brown, Clarendon, and Brink, all of them are out. Lexi Brown's going to be out for quite some time. Apparently, she's having a flare-up for the same thing that she had last season. And we already know Hamby, Ari, Rakia, Lee, they're going to be your starters. The 4th starter to replace Clarendon. Right now, they have Kia Nurse. I know that she was kind of benched for a little bit, playing off the bench. So, off of the bench, they're going to have Talbot, they're going to have Burrell, and they're going to have Zaya. Queen, I highly doubt Queen's going to really get any minutes. Granted, she did play 3 minutes in the last game. Maybe with some time to practice and stuff like that, we could see an uptick in some minutes for Queen. But I understand that Lee, this is going to be a game where they're going to need Lee. This is going to be one of those games where she should be able to go out there. You would actually have someone that can match the size of Brittany Griner in her. So I would expect some decent minutes for Lee here in the spot. Not going to say she's going to be able to bring the house down, but definitely an upside play right there for her if she's actually able to keep herself out of foul trouble and things like that. Now, really for me, focusing in this game, I would rather look more towards the guard position in regards to it. If Nurse come out here and just be the firecracker, knock down her shots and stuff like that, going up against Phoenix in 34 minutes, she dropped 19.25 fantasy points in that game. She's going to have to play some minutes. She's going to have to actually do something, but if she doesn't, she can easily get pulled for who looks like they are in the rotation and playing very well. Our girl Burrell, Ray, man, she's been balling. Last 2 games, 22 minutes in both those games, 24 and 17.75 fantasy points in both those games. So really good upside for her right there. And then Zaya also as well. Zaya's been getting some minutes, 17 minutes in both those games, 20 and 16.75 fantasy points. Both of them have been cooking. Zaya played 16 minutes in that game going against Phoenix the first time, 12.5 fantasy points in that game right there for her. And then Burrell, I'm not too sure she actually played. Going up against Phoenix, she played 6 minutes and only 2.25. But the upside is definitely there for both of these guards right here. Burrell, her price is priced up at the 5.5. So I do see a world we could just come down, get the savings, go down here to Zaya. Both of them should be playing off the bench unless magically they decide they want to start one of them. If you're looking at Burrell, I would honestly just come up and go to Talbot. Talbot, she's getting deep run. She's getting the minutes, and we already know Talbot kind of is one of those do-it-all players. She can stuff the stat sheet, rebound very well for herself. She can knock down some three-point shots, and she did play for Phoenix before. Going up against them earlier this season, she played 16 minutes, only 9.75 fantasy points in that game. Definitely the upside is there for her, especially if that shot is falling. So if you're looking at Burrell, I wouldn't mind just coming up playing Talbot right there. Just go up 5K and go ahead and get her. Talbot is playing a little bit more minutes. And then if you're looking at it, come down, just go ahead and play Zaya and just hope that the upside will be there for Zaya over running Burrell in the spot. That's honestly how I would look to it right there. Ari, a little bit priced up for me. When she's 8-4, I can go up and get DT in the spot or pay up a little bit more, get Cloud or something like that for it. I don't see myself going that high for Ari. The price is a little bit capped for me. She has to have a really good shooting night and still facilitate and do everything else to the T for me. And I would expect more of like a 30-ish fantasy point game from her at that 8-4 price tag is what I would want. So just priced a little bit too high for my liking right here on today's slate. And then Rakia. Yeah, I think this is going to be more of a defensive type game for her out here. Going up against Phoenix, she played 27 minutes, 19.75 fantasy points in that game. Not really looking her direction right now at 7,900. That's not it for me. I would rather prefer go ahead getting up to Hamby if you want to go there paying up for someone that you think is going to actually be able to do something. And Hamby, of course, we do know last game against New York Liberty, 13 minutes, 41 fantasy points. And then that first game going up against Phoenix, 34 minutes, 37 fantasy points. So almost a fantasy point per minute when she's out there. BG did not play in that first game that they played going up against the Phoenix Mercury, so take that into account. The lane definitely will be a little bit more clogged in this matchup, so that's why I really do favor the guards that can actually knock down some outside shots out there on the slate instead of looking more towards the bigs and things like that. Going over to the Phoenix Mercury side, everybody in the starting lineup is in play. BG, Copper, Cloud, DT, all of them. Cloud, she popped off for one of her biggest games of the season, going up against the same Sparks team. She played 35 minutes, dropped 52.75 fantasy points, 12 assists in that game, 21 points. It was just a beautiful night, beautiful game from her in it. Like I said, Brittany Griner, make sure I'm correct. She did not play. Yeah, she did not play in that game going up against them. She has not had one of her big 40+ fantasy point games in quite some time. This matchup, this game seems like this should be not even seen. This is the game that she should be able to go out here and do exactly just that today for us. Opposing centers, even before Brink went down, even with Lily being out there, they've actually have crushed going up against the Sparks so far this season, and this should be one of those games that BG should be able to go out here and do that. Now, again, if you pair BG up with one of the guards like what I was talking about over here on the Spark side, you really do have yourself a pretty decent starting core. Let's go ahead. Let's put Zaya in. You have a very nice core. You can even run it back with another one of the guards over here, whether it be Copper, Cloud, or DT for us over here on the Phoenix Mercury. So I really do like that core right there. Looks very good to start up for your day. Now, again, outside of that, Cloud, she has to actually score. She has to score. If, again, I say it all the time, if Cloud has a good scoring night, she will have a tremendous night, period, because we already know that she is going to dish the rock. She's going to be able to pick up her assist and things like that and play on the defensive side, get her some steals and whatnot. Love the upside and everything for her. I'm not going to expect another 50+ fantasy point game, but if she can get me right around the realm of a 30-35, I wouldn't hate or mind it. Now, I will say, Diana Taurasi, old bones, old bag of bones DT. She's coming off of a ton of days of rest. In that first game going up against the Phoenix Mercury, if my thing would actually act right, in that first game going up against the Phoenix Mercury, not Phoenix Mercury, Jesus, what the fuck am I talking about? Going up against the Los Angeles Sparks, if I could find the stupid game. Going up against the Sparks, she played 29 minutes and she dropped 39.5 fantasy points. She got 31 points. 7 of 9 from 3. She's rested. I could see this being a game where she could do the exact same thing. I'm not going to say she can go out here and drop another 39, but over the last couple games, especially with Brittany Griner being back out there, her assist numbers are up. She can rebound, of course, the ball very well for herself, for her size. And if the scoring, all that is there, this sets up for a pretty good DT game. It really, truly does. And I do like the aspect of a possible ceiling game from Diana Taurasi. So when I'm looking at the guards over here, 8-9 for DT, 9-4 for Cloud, 10K for Copper. DT is kind of falling right there in my lap, and I can get the old school DT and Brittany Griner stack, running it back with somebody from the Sparks that I do actually like, getting just a piece from the first game, a piece or two from the first game. It really sets up for a decent balanced style build on today. Now, I will say off the bench, Cunningham, decent spot. We know she's going to actually get some minutes. If you think that possibly somehow the game can blow out or something crazy happens, I see a world where we can go ahead and we can get up to playing Sutton or Mac or something like that. But really, it's going to be the starters for me. And Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, Cloud, Copper, they're the main ones that I do want to actually get to and play on today's slate. All right, kind of felt like I went a little bit long on this video. Didn't mean to, but of course did a recap breakdown of the first one, of the first game, well, the games from last night. Again, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Like 45% of you guys, like I said, watch the video. You guys aren't subscribed. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Help out the channel, help me grow, and everything. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, watching. If you guys got any questions, comments, talk to me down in the comment section or in the Discord. Hit your boy up. With that being said, it's your boy Zoe. Peace.